Today's workout is all about high intensity interval training using your suspension training system. We're using the Bow500 suspension gym, however the workout is compatible with TRX or alternative suspension equipment as well. Let's get started with your warm-up exercise. Exercise 1 of this superset is a traditional row, but you can see I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm doing it with bent knees as though I'm sitting on a chair. And what this does is it amplifies the exercise because of the additional weight having the lower center of gravity. Now make sure you extend your arms all the way out, and as you pull in, keep your elbows tucked in by your ribs, and nice controlled movement, both in the way in and as well as the release as well. For the cardio exercise, we're going to work some double jabs. So we want to double jab using your natural fighting stance, and then we're going to change over and do the opposite as well. It's a matter of alternating those double jabs from one side to the other. This exercise is all about foot movement, so I want you guys to keep your feet moving. Your turn to try this superset. Exercise 1 of this superset is an under press. So you can see it's like a chest press with a supinated hand position. Elbows are tucked in and I'm creating a perpendicular push. Now this is going to put a little bit extra pressure in the middle of your chest and also a little bit more in your lateral triceps as well. Make sure that you're holding a nice straight core line, so no dipping of the back and good range, full movement for this exercise. Exercise 2 is some high pace squats. So starting with your feet parallel at shoulder width, we're dropping down into some nice deep squats and working our way up. You can see I'm using my arms for momentum, so you're also welcome to do that. And let's keep up the pace for the duration of the set. Your turn to try it. calves raise from an abs rollout to start this superset. So this is a different way of doing your calves raise. It actually gives you a lot more range of movement. So I personally prefer doing it this way. You get a lot more emphasis on your calves. And at the same time, you're working your abs as well because you're maintaining your abs rollout throughout the exercise. Make sure there's no dipping of the back, and let's go all the way up to the ball of the foot with as much range as you've got. For the second exercise, the cardio component, we're simply working some jumping jacks. So just traditional jumping jacks with your feet going wide and then coming back together, and just staying nice and light on the ball of the foot. Now you can see I'm using my arms for momentum as well in that traditional jumping jack motion. Your turn to try this superset. The first exercise in this superset is some crouch squats. So starting with your feet at shoulder width apart, we're going to start in an abs rollout and then work our way down into a crouching squat on the ball of the foot and then extend all the way back out to your abs rollout. So this is going to transfer the pressure from your quadriceps to your abs and back throughout the set. Second exercise is simply hopping in your fighting stance. So you want to try and stay nice and light on the ball of your foot and just keep bouncing back and forth for the duration of the set. Your turn to try this superset. first exercise of this superset, using straight knees and the ball of your foot, we're going to fold over into some shoulder presses. So dropping down with your head until you've got that nice 90-degree bend in your elbows, and then pushing until you're all the way back up. Now we want to try and make sure we keep the knees straight for this exercise to really emphasize the shoulders. You'll get a good stretch of the hamstrings during this exercise as well. For the second exercise, we're going to go into some in and out squats. Staying nice and light on the ball of the foot and keeping your knees bent the whole time, we're going to jump in and out and really try to sustain our height as much as possible. Your turn to try this superset. Grandfather clock is a suspended plank that swings from left to right. Now these are controlled swings and we're really keeping that core engagement throughout this set. Now you can see I'm on the ball of the foot and I'm controlling by tweaking my obliques and squeezing my abs in order to keep the right range of movement. Now make sure you don't dip your hips for this one and make sure you're protecting your back. For the second exercise, we're running on the spot with high knees. So you can see I'm running on the spot, keeping my weight on the ball of my feet and just really lifting my knees, trying to keep my weight light, but I'm burning as many calories as I can as well. Let's get you guys to have a go at this one. starting this superset with some reverse flies. So start with your arms extended and a straight plank line body, and then it's a matter of opening your arms up until you're in that crucifix position and then try to release nice and slow. Now, the negative is just as important as the exercise itself. So we don't want a sudden release. We want to make sure it's nice and controlled. When you release and go back into your starting position, make sure that you don't drop your bum out. You want to make sure you keep your back engaged and keep that straight body line throughout. For the cardio component, we're going to work some X mountain climbers. So these are similar to traditional mountain climbers, except your knee is pushing to the outside of your opposite elbow, and so we are creating more work on the obliques and in the intercostals as well. Let's keep a good pace with this particular exercise, and let's have a go at this superset now. Exercise 1 in this superset is a lunge row. So you can see I lunge back, keeping all my weight on my front leg, and I extend my arms out. And then what I'm doing is I'm coming back, getting my feet together, but I'm actually rowing with my hands. So it's 2 exercises in one. Now, if you can, try not to let your back foot touch the floor. The other thing to watch out for is to make sure that you've got a vertical shin bone throughout this exercise. Now we're going to hit one side, and then for the next set we're going to hit the opposite side. For the cardio exercise, we're working some crisscross hops. So this is a combination of scissor hops, or lunge hops if you like, mixed into some jumping jacks. A little bit harder to coordinate, but I'm sure you guys will be alright having a go at this one. The important thing is to try and stay nice and light on your toes. Protect your knees the whole time. Your turn to try this superset. This one's a nice difficult superset, you guys. We're going to start this with some suspended dips. So feet at shoulder width, arms by our hips and dropping down into a dip before we push all the way up. Now, where people tend to go wrong with this exercise is as they dip, they bring their hands too far back behind them, and that puts a lot of pressure on your rotator cuffs. So I want you guys to try to watch for that. So you can see as I'm doing it, my hands are remaining by my side, so they're not pushing too far back. For the second exercise, we're going to work some push-ups, and then we're going to throw some alligator knee strikes, which are knee strikes outside of your elbow. So really working those obliques and working those lateral muscles throughout this set. Now you can see I'm getting nice and deep into those push-ups and just keeping that straight body line as well. If you've got difficulty doing push-ups, then you can do it on your knees, but then you get back up into the push-up before you throw your knee strike. Your turn to try this superset. Well done for getting through your workout today, guys. Let's take a moment to stretch and cool our body back down now. Comment and let us know what you thought of today's workout, and remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest workouts.